Okay, now we're recording. Now we are there. Still 8 o'clock, so I'm not technically late for my own call, which makes me feel good about myself. Um, wow, we are getting close, guys. I hope you are getting excited. I am getting excited as well. Little bit of uneasiness with a couple of the things, but the things are really starting to come together at the last minute with some stuff that's out of our direct control. But as far as things go for our pro console team, I have to tell you, I'm really excited about some of the content that I'm starting to see the last couple of days that people are starting to pull together. If you looked at the agenda, again, I'm not going to put it on the screen. If you want to second screen the agenda, great. We'll keep some beautiful faces up on the screen. Um, a lot of repetitive stuff from last week that I'm actually not going to cover, but I wanted to keep some of those resources available for you at an easy place to be. So I'll gloss over a lot of that. That being said, we don't really have a ton on the agenda, um, but we do have a little bit of new stuff. One of the things I want to start off with is we do now officially have our staff support for our second year in a row. We have Jared Lagomasini joining us. Jared, do you want to give a little intro to the team about who you are, what you do at headquarters, and why you hate the sun so much?
Sure. Jared Lagomasini. I'm from the RIT chapter. I am the first alumni of that chapter at headquarters. I am the LMS administrator, so I take all the content for the e-learning and put it online. I'm not the creator though, so don't blame me if it doesn't work. But if it doesn't work, I can try and help you find a solution. And the reason I hate the sun is because it's a terrible fiery orb that burns me.
Perfect. Hey, first of all, we've tagged you in Slack a ton over the last week, and you've been very helpful to not just our team but all the other facilitators. So thank you so much for that, and really excited for you to be with our team. I've told you this one on one, but with everyone else listening, please embed yourself with our team as much as you can, and be one with the Pro Console, the machine that we have created here, because we are better with one more person in our order. So anytime we're just hanging out, having brother time, any of that stuff, you please understand that you are always, always, always invited. Okay.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So let's talk really quick. A lot of people are traveling in on Tuesday. Yeah, I have that. I have Tuesday arrival down a little later on the schedule. On Wednesday, before you get there, or I say once you get to campus and get checked in, couple things. I'm going to work a little bit out of order on the agenda. Before you get there on Wednesday, you will know what your small group room is. You should already know by tonight, because I sent it out to you, how many people are in your pro console team. You should have a general idea of how many people are coming from your chapter. So things of that nature, you know how many seats you need in your room. Please make sure before we get to our training at 3 o'clock on Wednesday that you've made a point of going by your room and making sure it's going to work for you. Remember, we start off in those rooms on Thursday morning, which means we'll be able to do a little bit of troubleshooting on Thursday, but anything you can do to make sure that your room is going to work on Wednesday is going to make your life and Donahue's life 1,000 times easier. That being said, let's talk about our in-person training on Wednesday. Things that we will cover there. We'll do some team icebreakers, and we'll model some icebreakers that if you're a newer facilitator that you can do with your team. We will go through all three pro console sessions in regards to what to do in your small groups, and the feedback that I'm hearing, from the time that Rocky's putting in to help, helping Rob out, and Matt Hartley's putting in, and Kyle and Dylan, and people that are just jumping in to help with some curriculum. Guys, man, the feedback I'm getting from the other facilitators for the amount of help that you're putting in, so thankful for that. So we will go through in pretty good detail what to do in all three of your Pro Console small group rooms. As a reminder, You have your facilitator manual, so you know, or you should know, what to do in all of your chapter sessions, but you don't have anything yet for those pro Consul sessions. We'll get that to you on site. Um, very, very basic as always, again, with my philosophy of really wanting to turn you loose and allowing you to facilitate. This falls right in line with that, but we do have some guided things for you to go through and do. um, and then we'll do, as always, just a logistical review of the schedule, once we're actually on site, just to walk through the schedule and just to make sure that we don't have any questions. It's a 2-hour window. I won't lie, I intend on taking 2 hours and 1 minute of it because we've got a lot of stuff that we need to cover. So please make sure that you're on time, for that meeting. Just like tonight, when we started at 8 o'clock, we'll start right at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Any questions about our Pro Consul in-person training on Wednesday night? Perfect. Moving along. After that training, I'll go to dinner like we've done in the past. It's, just in the big dining hall. Twibel will visit with us. Grand Consul Schuyler will visit with us, and I'm sure we'll hear from some other people as well. And then from there, you'll have roughly another 2 hours of in-person training with our curriculum team, and you'll be in groups with either Jim Holcomb or Chris Gagey, along with Ali Kalina, and then someone else from the headquarters team. I think it's Abby that will be doing that training with you. I'll be with the VBDM crew doing that training. And then afterwards, I believe Nick and Travis. Travi, I think you're on the phone. Do you want to talk about what Wednesday night will look like after our training?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a traditional place we've always gone to. What do I want to call it? A Coolio's. Basically, they switched upside down a Chili sign that they bought. But it's a great Mexican food restaurant just off the edge of campus. They're staying open late for us. We have a little section in the back, so bring some cash for easily split bills or plan to Venmo. But we try to meet up there and typically invite other faculties, well, at least the Magisters, to join us if they can. But it's a good social time for us to get fired up before we get back to work the next morning.
Are you in Boise?
I am in Sun Valley.
Oh, sorry. I should have known better, but it just didn't look like the city. I was like all the greenery and dogs and bug spray, and love it. The West looks good on you, my friend.
I miss it.
All right. So that being said, any questions at all about Wednesday night before I move forward with that? Perfect. Hearing none. Really quick, you've had your chapter assignments for a little while now. Just a reminder to make sure you're logging contacts and touches on the Google form and starting to fill out the PDF book. I did put something on Slack about it not too long ago, and I don't believe it was anyone from our team. But Rocky, we don't have the room numbers yet. As soon as I get those assigned, I'll let you know. I've been told ours will be in the student union again, but that's all I know for right now. Sorry, just looking at the chat there. Make sure that PDF book is not something that you are mailing out to people to fill out on your behalf. That is a journal for you to keep over the course of the next year, working with your chapter or chapters plural. Any concerns that any of you have with any of your chapters before we go into next week? All right. Once again, silence is a good thing. Keep reaching out to your fire team leaders or myself or Donahue if you do have anything that comes up in the next week. Or if you have just one-off, they're at the point now where if something goes sideways for them, they will start reaching out to you. And so remember that workshop at simukai.org email address is the best resource for not just for us, but for them as well if something happens en route for travel, things like that. Speaking of travel, oh wait, what do we got here? Sorry, I missed out. Facilitator manual, that's just from last week. Again, it's just a resource there for you. Make sure that you utilize your airplane time or your shotgun backseat time, if you will. Looking over that manual again, and then the undergrad manual still there for you. Again, for travel, our log is linked here for you need people still looking at rides. I know Childers thinks he's going to be on a bus. So again, look at that travel link and the log right there to see if other people are arriving at the same time you are. So maybe get some people off of buses. Um, is that someone on the phone that's saying something, or they just got some background noise? I'm gonna mute you. All right, 8847 number I just muted you. Sorry. Travel reimbursement we talked about last time. Any travel interruptions, send Donahue a slide into his DMs on that one, just so he knows that you're delayed and we can get you any assistance that might need to be there. People that are arriving on Tuesday, you should have gotten an email today that talks about how you are getting from the Detroit airport to campus. If you're making any changes to that, for example, Marcos and Nick and Donahue who are riding with me that were not assigned to my car, make sure if you're making any audibles to that email that came out that you email the driver of that car so they know that you're not going to be there, not be looking for you. Pretty straightforward on that. People coming in on Tuesday night, we're going to go about 13 miles north of campus to beautiful Toledo. Actually Perrysburg, which I think is a suburb of Toledo, not that Toledo has suburbs. And there's a pretty cool little Italian pub up there that we visited last year for dinner on Tuesday night. Not a mandatory thing, but if you're in town Tuesday night, grab a brother, doesn't have to be on our team, and come up and join us up there. Probably guessing people get there between 5 and 6-ish, and we'll stay there for, not late into the night, but a decent amount into the night. Civic IU training, there's a lot of confusion as far as what you need to do. Some of you are assigned things that were not, that don't necessarily fall into our purvey. I think we've got most of it all worked out, fellas, and when I looked at our last log, you guys are doing really good at getting your training done. Things that are required, VBDM is required. If you are someone that has not facilitated for more than 3 years, facilitator basics is required. Attendance taking is very, very short, but obviously super, super required. And Jim Connell, I'll get to you in just 1 second when I get to that right here. I'm going to put it down into our agenda. I actually have it in our agenda next. I'll get to you, Jim Connell, on that question. So if you have a question as far as what do you have to take, please reach out to myself or Donahue, and we'll get you set straight on that. But at this point, I think most of us are in a really, really good spot, but just try to get that finished up so you're not rushing to get it. Earlier today, I emailed out your Consul groups. Anyone that did not, or I actually didn't email it out because I don't use email. I put it on Slack, I believe. Anyone that hasn't seen that yet, jump in. You can check that out. You can see on the top right corner how the groups were sorted. We did sort by chapter size this year. And so you can look and see the size ranges for the chapters that you have. The only outliers in there are the names that are highlighted in yellow. Essentially what happened, real short story, we have 28 facilitators. They gave us 29 groups, so I had to break a group up and slide some people in there. We do not have room numbers yet because those have not been assigned to us, but you do now know the email address and the phone numbers for all of your Consul undergrads. Jim Connell's question is a great one, just so we're on the same point. They will not be added to our Slack workspace. You are free to choose whichever communication platform you want to work with both your chapter and with your Consul group. If you want to use Slack, that's phenomenal. Set up your own workspace. If you want to use WhatsApp or you want to use GroupMe, but have that plan in your mind for what you're going to use with your group. Newer facilitators, if you're not sure what would be the best thing, shoot me a text or shoot your fire team, lead a text, and we'll walk you through what we have used in the past that we think is best. But feel free to start reaching out to those guys, right away, and just letting them know that you're going to be their Consul team leader, and just again start building that relationship with them. That being said, Pop and Jay, are you on yet? You are not. I talked with Rob earlier today. We were talking about Consul groups, and he went back through and he actually rewatched the original video that I made with the where I guess make light of the amount of travel time that we have. And Rob had a really cool best practice that he was going to share with us tonight but he's having some kid meltdown stuff again. As he's on family vacation. So I will share on his behalf. His goal when he leaves either a chapter session or a proconsul session is to just grab one of the guys from the group and just walk with them, for 5-10 minutes, since we've got 45 minutes between sessions for walking time. Just walk for 4 or 5 minutes and just build those one-on-one relationships with people, and then try to walk with someone different every time. I thought that was a really cool idea. Anyone else that has other best practices, make sure that you're sharing those with the group. But Rob had that one today. I thought it was a great best practice. Questions at all about the proconsul groups that got sent out today, besides room numbers and things like that have already been asked on the chat? All right, I'm going to keep hammering through things. I posted in Slack, but Travis is going to be our team lead person on this. We need some signups for SIGFest. One of our former proconsul brothers, Robbie Kimbrough, is the chair of the SIGFest committee. And, so we always want to make sure that our committee represents, but they actually did a really good job of trying to divide the work up evenly between all the divisions this year. I posted the link in Slack actually it's in here also. If you click on that link, it will load it up for you. You can type right in there, Sawyer and Con have already signed up for a couple times. We need, essentially 3 shifts. So 9 people on night 1, which is Thursday night, and 3 people on night 2, which is Friday night. You can get in there and add your name to the proconsul fields to do that. We've already got, of our spots, we've already got a couple that are filled up. Feel free to double up. SIGFest is a great time just for us to walk around and visit with each other, but obviously it does take a village to run both nights of SIGFest. Also on the right side of that sheet, people don't know how to spell ref, so I'm going to correct their spelling really quick there. They're taking suggestions for names for the referees for the basketball tournament. People like Scott Inman, we know are basketball officials. Others of you, might just understand the game pretty well, and you want to just referee some 3-on-3 basketball. It'd be great if you could do that. I really like Jim Connell's idea, man. If we could get that sheet filled in tonight, it would be awesome. And obviously, the faster you get there, the faster you get the earlier times, because the 12 a.m. to 12:45 a.m. times, those especially for our East Coast people, those aren't too bad. West Coast people, it's not too bad for you at night, but man, it hurts in the morning when you're getting up at 3 a.m. to get started. So if we could get that filled in, that would be great. But if not, Travis will be knocking on your door. Travis does a great job. Brandon, the link is actually in on the show notes on our agenda, and it was in the PC team. But let me drop that right below your comment, and you can check that out as well. But that's the link to SIGFest. All right, any questions on SIGFest? All right, I'm moving through, man. I'm going to hammer through the agenda tonight because I know you've got limited time with family before you leave town. So I'm going to just keep pushing forward. Stop me if you guys have questions. Let's talk about the VBDM sessions. One, it's required that you attend with your chapter. So unlike a province planning session where they say you should go with your chapter, and then I say I don't care if you go with your chapter, you have to be with your chapter at the VBDM sessions. There's no reason for you not to be. And on top of that, I have an expectation that you would sit with your chapter. And I believe that's going to be the expectation across the board. But that's going to really help those VBDM facilitators out when you're there, just there with them. If you have multiple chapters and they're at different places, that's a great question. That's why we still don't have room numbers. They're working through the logistics, Chris. If you have to make a choice, then man, you have to make a choice, and that's all good. Make sure you're obviously just with one of them, but hopefully they're both in the same spot. There's so much sorting and stuff going on behind the scenes. They're going to get it resolved soon, but we don't have any of those assignments just yet. That's an awesome question for the multiple chapter people, of which our division has quite a few of them. Content-wise, Thursday night's going to be heavy. That's when the Push Coalition is going to come in and they're going to talk about, their children that they lost to deaths in hazing. It's going to be a very, very heavy content evening. There will be counselors on site if needed. And so if you have someone that's on your chapter team, you won't really have met with your pro-consul team yet. You'll meet with them later in that evening. But someone on your chapter team that maybe the content triggers something, you will be given the resources, to who to reach out to. That's something that will be covered on Wednesday night, but pay attention to who those resources are. And then the other thing that just got released halfway the other day, we're still waiting on the Android component, is the Sigma Chi Reach Out app. Now, if you remember last year, Sigma Chi launched an app for our mental health awareness program, and they've changed app providers and have a new app that just came out. It's called Reach Out. The iOS version is already out there, so if you've not already downloaded it, please do. I'm not going to read for you the text that's on the agenda, but that's just kind of the important stuff from Jesse Trout, who is the chair of that committee that's heading that up. Cool thing about that app is it's campus specific. So if you go to University of the Ozarks and are a Sigma Chi there, I don't know if we have a chapter there, and you log in there, then you're going to get an app that is specific to your campus with local resources for you. There will be, for alumni, we won't have local resources loaded in ours, but it will definitely have some national resources, including a "Hey, I need help now," button that will reach out to people. It's a phenomenal resource. I would really suggest that if you don't already have it on your phone, that you add it to your phone, just in case you come across a brother that's in need, or heaven forbid you yourself be someone that needs to reach out and talk with someone. Really cool thing that we have going on with that. And just like last year, I believe this is not just a resource for only Sigma Chi's, but for anyone that needs assistance. One of the cooler things I heard was, when Chris Childers shared the number for the strong arms, on the radio last year on a Sirius XM show, just for anyone that was listening, and that was, I believe, after the quarterback at Washington State had committed suicide. So, again, Thursday night's going to be heavy. Some tools there for us. The fun part of that is after we get through the first two VBDM session, that's when we get to do our Pro Consul opening. And I can't really tell you what the mood is going to be when the Pro Consuls come in on Thursday night with us, but it will be kind of our job to get them into a good spot, and you'll get a chance to meet with your Pro Consul team that evening as well. So just make sure you do a good check-in with your guys then. Questions on VBDM sessions? Copy that, hearing none. I put together a little shopping list. Things that you might not have thought of if you're a newer facilitator that are important to have. And really, most of them aren't things for you. They're just hacks to keep your group striving throughout the weekend. Ibuprofen is huge. They come in on an early morning. They went out the night before. They're dragging. Anything we can do to help them feel a little bit better. A little bottle of ibuprofen is never a bad thing. Gum helps people that are falling asleep. That just, moving that mouth around. Sometimes people aren't smart to bring pens. Anything you need for your icebreakers, bring them. Tennis balls, marshmallows, spaghetti sticks, newspaper. I don't know. If you have a plan on what you're going to do for your icebreakers, bring them with you, because you're probably not going to have time to go and try to track things down locally. The towel, I don't know if I spelled towel correctly. I think I did. The towel that the school provides with you is not really very absorbent. If you like exfoliating, you will love this towel. But if not, I'd suggest you bring your own towel from home. You might want to throw a blanket in your bag, because the blanket they give you also is not the best. And then myself, I'm a big 2-ply toilet paper fan. If you are a 1-ply person and enjoys a little breakthrough now and then, you can feel free to use what's in the dorms. But if not, I would bring a roll of toilet paper with you. Anything else that is not on the list that people bring that they think we should add to the list that helps people's trip better? And I will type them into the show notes. We might as well be camping. Charmin Extra Strong from Jared, And Al wants to know if we're camping, and we're dorm camping. We're roughing it on rubber coated mattresses and bunk beds. Actually, they're not bunk beds. They're lower beds, but kind of. Painter's tape. Rocky says painter's tape. Some blue painter's tape is a great idea. You're gonna add, be able to hang some posters up on the walls, things like that. We do usually get some tape from HQ, but having some is good. If you like your undercarriage to not be sticky and raw, so you're suggesting some Gold Bond. The spray version of the Gold Bond, pretty next level, and it leaves a lot less mess on your carpet. Rocky's using the tape for hands and mouths in case he has a mouth breather. I love it. Ramirez throws out there again, an actual blanket long enough to cover your feet is good if you can pack it. Anything else, guys, that you think of that is a great thing for people to bring? Just throw it in there. I've gotten to the point where I stopped trying to use a carry-on bag for workshop, and I just flat out bring a full-on suitcase anymore. But thanks, Jared. So just things like that. Good things for you to remember to pack. We're wrapping it up here. And I'm moving quick intentionally for you. Sigma Chi app. Again, different from the Reach Out app that we talked about a minute ago. The actual Sigma Chi app, make sure it's downloaded and on your phone. That's the app that they talked about in the attendance training that you've done. It is very important that you log into the app with your Sigma Chi, credentials, and then you will find that your schedule, your own personal schedule. Good call, Nick. I'll get there in a second. I'm gonna enter down and get on the next one. Your personal schedule has already been loaded into the app. Now, some of the room assignments might change because there is some, some fluctuating around there going on still. But for the most part, your schedule is there. Now, a couple years ago, if you guys remember, we used the app, and the app had everyone's schedule, and it was just impossible to tell what was yours. They have done such a damn good job now of going through and individualizing everyone's schedule. It is very, very, very cool. So, Jared and Andrew and the HQ team on the tech side that have done that for us, thank you so much. But make sure you have gone into the app, you've got yourself signed in. Again, that's what you use for attendance. So, make sure that you have it locked and loaded. I think they talked about it on the attendance training, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday. But just so you know, we are sticking tight to a 5-minute late rule. And anyone that's after 5 minutes late, we're considering them late, and we're not scanning them in. Even if you do scan them, actually, feel free to scan them. It's going to flag them as late when they get there because everything is going to be time stamped. So when you get to your room, the first thing you're going to be doing is meeting the guys at the door and scan them when they cross the threshold. Try not to forget to do attendance because that's going to be just, a shit sandwich all the way around. So if you could be managing to scan your guys right when you go into the small group rooms, either your chapter session or your pro consul session, that's awesome. For the large group rooms, we'll have a QR code up on the projector when they come in, and they'll be able to scan themselves in to those sessions and also to our Stro Center sessions as well. But again, we're sticking to that 5-minute late rule in all sessions all the way across the board. I'm going to jump into the chat really quick before I move on to the other questions. Bringing a polo shirt. I hear it will help you pack less and smell great the whole week. I think that's spam. I've heard about these shirts, but I haven't actually seen them yet. So maybe some of them could show up in Bowling Green, and we'll hear how great it is to have copper on your body. But we'll find out. Alan likes scabs, or is it scabies? One or the other. He might be a long B there. Alan might like scabies. Rami wants to know if room assignments for housing have been given out already. Yes, I just added that to number 12 on our list. The email from BGSU went out on Friday. A lot of people jumped right in the app into Slack and started posting what room they're in to see who their roommates are. If you did not get an email, check your spam first, and then if not, shoot me an email to let me know that you did not get one. I know Rob, I think maybe was still looking for his, or someone I talked to the other day was still trying to track theirs down. but they did go out to everyone on Friday, so you should know what your sleeping rooms are. Again, it's 4 people to a room, but you have your own individual sleeping quarters. So you have some, hopefully some guys from our team that are rooming with you. It looks like we're pretty close by there. And I'm gonna breathe. Whew, 8:30. I am through our agenda. Let's open it up to the floor to any questions that anyone has about anything and everything as we get a day and a half out.
I did miss. I had to get off the call just a little earlier, and I did miss. What about the? I saw some guys are setting up WhatsApps with their groups. What was the verdict on setting them up with Slack?
You can most definitely use Slack. We're just not adding them to the same workspace that we use for our Pro Consul team. So if you want to create your own, Slack workspace, phenomenal. I love Slack. I think it's a great spot because you can search it and it's not linear, and you can channel it with your officers, things like that. Other people will use GroupMe, or WhatsApp, which are, both, they're both really easy to use. They're a little more linear. What you'll find is, believe it or not, a lot of the undergrads use Slack also. When I was at Horizons in June, about 3/4 of my small group were all using Slack already at their chapter, so they are familiar with it. But it's really about what you are most comfortable using and setting up that method of communication with both your chapter and your Pro Consul team, so they know if a schedule changes, if my room changes, here's how Alan will be letting his dudes know where to find him. And that way they, kind of no one has any excuses for, well, I didn't know, I couldn't find you, things like that. Does that make sense, Al?
Yeah, it does.
Beery said he's a GroupMe person. And Dave Rickards, this Mackay email is broken. Hey, Jared, my friend, do you have a pen and paper with you?
I can find some.
It's in the chat. Dave Rickards is thinking that maybe his rooming email went to the wrong space. Is it easier if he emails the workshop email address, or is that something maybe you could look into on his behalf?
Yeah, I don't have access to that email, so I would recommend he email them.
Okay, so Dave, what I would do, Dave, if you would email workshop@sigmachi.org, and then feel free to copy me on it, and just let them know that you think that your housing email maybe went to the wrong email address. It should have gone to whatever you have on file, but in your praetorial world, you understand Sigmachi email a lot better than I do. So, other questions?
The small group breakout session, where is that posted? Like the room numbers for each person?
We don't have room numbers yet. As soon as I get room numbers, I will put them in the same Google Doc that's already posted, and I'll also share them with you separately. But I don't. Man, I'm hoping I get them tomorrow, but I don't have room numbers yet.
Okay.
No, it's a great question. Anything anything with specific rooms, I don't have anything else for us on that front just yet. But as soon as I do, I'll get them for you. Other questions? All right. Now, we get the opportunity to obviously just share with each other at the end of next week, but if anyone needs a palate cleanser and wants to share some just great things going on in your life ahead of getting to workshop, please feel free. It's our Everyday Getting Better section of our call.
Well, I'm on a little pre-vacation right now, so I'm out on Blake Island out in front of Seattle with my wife and my boat, so I'm having a good time.
That's awesome.
Did you say boat or goat?
Boat. It's not quite a goat.
I did tell Donahue the other day on Top of Motorcycles that you were a boater as well, and he said that made you a lot cooler in his book.
Yeah, he didn't make our camping trip last week either.
No, keep on him. I know he's on the call sitting quietly, but keep on him. Make him go with you.
I will.
Can anyone top Alan on vacation?
My girlfriend bought a condo, and I will be moving in with her sometime after KTLW.
Nice, full on adulting.
I know. Very exciting.
Hey, there's Mr. Donahue.
It's not vacation for me, but I dropped off the kids at camp this morning, and my wife's getting on a flight tomorrow morning, so I've got the house to myself for a couple of days before I head to work.
Yeah, awesome. What kind of camp are the kids at?
Just traditional outdoor summer camp, archery, canoeing, learn how to light a fire.
Love it. That's very cool. Anyone else have anything else they want to share going into the week? All right. So the last thing I'll close with, one of those things that happens all the time is you get on campus and you don't quite know where to find people. Feel free to jump right on Slack. We'll just keep using our PC team channel for our communication throughout the week. So you'll see where people are at, post if you're in the student union or you're in the dorms or what you're doing. Hope we get to see some of you Tuesday night. I'm sure we'll cross paths with some of you in the airport as well. If you have travel issues, reach out to Donahue. If you don't get Donahue, reach out to me. And brothers, thank your families ahead of time for allowing you to take the time to be at KTLW, making the magic happen. I'm damn proud of you guys and the time and the commitment you've made going into this week. And I'm at this point, I'm ready. Last night I was in dread mode. Today I'm ready just to get after it. So I can't wait to see you in a couple days, and I'll talk to you all soon. And Rob bought a lot of ice cream for his family. If you ever want your biological clock to slow down, just hang out with Papa Andrea just a little bit, and his stories of parenting will slow down anyone's biological clock. All right, fellas. Love you all. Talk to you soon. I'm going to hit stop on the recording. Unless it wants to hang out and visit for a while, feel free to